I don't know, you know. I mean, like, I know Vinny likes me, but, like, you know, I don't know.
like he's got the bod, but his brains are bad news.
Welcome to the 21st Century Suffragettes cast. They flipped the bitch switch. We've already won this fight. We've already won this battle. We are not going back, not on our watch. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, family.
I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Suffragettes, are we live? Yeah. Okay.
Forgot
to turn my mic on. Okay, so welcome to the 21st Century Suffragettes. I'm Diane Russell. We got Benny Loco, we got Spykin, and we got Sage with us today. Thank you, Sage, for joining us. And wow, I don't know. Benny started off with, she's got something to start us off, like a little good news story. So you said something that at the Chinese. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I went to bring my husband to an early doctor's appointment today. And when we got out of the doctor, it was time for him to have something to eat. So he's like, "You give me something to eat?" I'm like, "No, starve, motherfucker." Now, I said, "What do you want?" He says, I'll have a fish sandwich. I said, "No, we're not going to McDonald's." Sorry, that's an one. What else? Can I entice you in some Chinese food? He's like, "Oh, yeah, sure." So I go over there, and of course, he can't come in with me because it's too much to get him in and out of the car. "What do you want?" He tells me what he wants, and I go in, and I immediately see the food, and then I immediately see these two old people, probably between 72 and 75. And I immediately notice, after noticing this couple, that the old man's wearing a 45-47 hat. So she's making up my husband's plate. I said, "I'll be right back." I quick ran out to the car, and I got one of the reports, scuttled my way back in. And I just politely sat right down at the table with them, put the report there, and I said, "Have you seen this court report on your guy?" I said, "Does your wife have a vagina? Do you care about her? Do you have daughters? Do you have granddaughters? If you do, I suggest you read this. If you don't, I suggest you read it anyway, because your wife has a vagina. Don't you, ma'am?" They were like,
I bet they were.
Yeah, and the little old lady's like, "What's this all about?" I said, "It's all about your guy and what he does to children. You really ought to read it. You really ought to read it." And she was like, "Oh, I will."
Nice. Benny, one couple, one person at a time.
That's right. And, don't be afraid to walk up to these people. They're fucking harmless.
I just want to walk up to him now and say, "Does your wife have a vagina?"
Yeah. Because you voted against it. You know that nice warm place you like to go?
Vagina.
You wished it was dead. How do you like them apples? Fucking assholes.
Benny, again, another epic story of you taking down one MAGA at a time, and I absolutely love it.
You need schooling, baby. I'm not fooling.
Yeah, because, we have to go through this bullshit, right? Got the t-shirt.
That's right.
I love it.
That's right.
So that's at our merch store at Redbubble. So go ahead and grab you a couple of them t-shirts. Yeah. So total fucking shit show as usual. And one thing I'd like to start with is the Secretary of Education, and what a dumb fuck. Oh my God.
Oh,
I
are you
know
talking
this
about the
really-
letter she sent to Harvard and they corrected it?
Yes. It is the funniest shit I have ever seen. Ever. You are the head of the Department of Education, Linda McMahon, the WWF, what is it? Wrestling,
WWE.
whatever.
think.
World Wrestling, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I thought
Male
it was
soap opera.
WWF,
It's a male
World
soap
Wrestling
Yeah, that-
Federation. I don't know.
Soap opera wrestling. That's what it is.
Oh my God, it's so funny.
And fake. Just like MAGA.
First of all, it's like, dear Garber, the federal government, like, just right there, you've capitalized two things that don't need to be capitalized. They go stock versus taxpayer. Oh my God, there's so much red on this 2-page letter that you don't even have to read it, but when you go in and you read it, it's even better. Like, because it goes from the past tense to the future tense.
Oh my
You know,
God.
you can't, yeah.
Wow.
She's capitalizing shit that doesn't need to be capitalized. She's putting like, well, they don't even, when you don't have to use the word even, you take the word even out and just dumb. Look at all the red on that. That's page 1. Here's page 2. Page 2, there's even more shit on it.
Oh my God.
By the way, anyone that sends me anything written, this is what it looks like when I'm done.
This is where you fucked up, and this is where you fucked
everywhere.
up.
Oh my God.
Honey, you are an embarrassment. Resign. Do yourself a favor because you
Yeah,
are
go back to the mat.
Well, I love Harvard is just I'm sorry, there's more fucking red ink on that paper than I had as a little kid. You know what I mean? There was never that much
Yeah.
red ink on my fucking papers.
Never.
Honey, you need to go.
Ever.
You need to get a fucking education before you can be the Secretary of Education. Jesus Christ.
Can I ask one thing?
This
Sure.
is the world.
Do any of you know what's going on with her court case?
No. I didn't even know she had a
Probably
court case.
dismissed.
Yeah, she and her husband, I believe both of them have been named in a lawsuit by, I think, 3 or 5. Well, they were boys at the time. They're grown men now. They were molested while they were working with them because they had knowingly hired a pedophile. And they all think that's the leverage that she got to get into the position she's in. It's to evade that whole court case. So I didn't know if it was dropped. I didn't know if it was tabled. I haven't heard anything else. So
Wow.
are we surprised?
See, I don't know, Sage, you have an uncanny ability to hear about these stories that we don't hear about. I never heard about that.
I knew that she and Vince McMahon were facing a lawsuit dealing with the SA of children. I knew that. And this was, obviously prior to her ever being nominated. But again, that he's going to surround himself with people like him.
Yep.
He's going to surround himself with people who do the exact same thing to children that he does.
Yeah.
Criminals. More criminals.
When I think of how
Criminals.
many children's lives were ruined because of these motherfuckers, it makes my skin crawl.
Yeah.
When then
Makes
on
my
top of that,
shit itch.
not just what they've physically done to children, but what they're in the process of doing to children all over the United States
Yeah.
by taking away the Department of Education funding for free meals at school, by taking away Medicaid that over 600,000 children are about to lose their Medicaid coverage if the CR goes through. But yet we're going to allocate $300 million to make sure that Dinky can go play fucking golf whenever he decides he wants to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, that piece about teachers being allowed to hit the kids again is in that bill, because I know that that's something they were putting through.
Oh my God.
they were, you know, because you don't want to spoil a child, right?
Parents
They ever
can't
try
even
that
hit
with
their
my
own
kids,
children.
they'll get the same response my mom gave the one time I went to the principal's office and they wanted to paddle me. Boy, she was in that office so fast. And when I say my mother has the mouth of a sailor, she dogged that principal out with every single cuss word in her vernacular that she could throw at him. And by the time she was done, he was there. Okay, okay.
I
Big
told you
bad
guys about
alpha
my
male,
story.
right?
I told you about my story, right? About my dad having.
Yeah.
I'll reiterate, and I'll try to do it quick. So, the teacher heard me say "fuck" in the hallway, sent me to the principal's office. My mom was out of town; she was visiting her mother, so they got a hold of my dad at work and dragged him out of work and said, "Your daughter needs to go home, and she's being disciplined." And he didn't really know what for. So he gets to the school, and I'm like, "Yeah, they heard me say fuck in the hallway." And so he goes in the principal's office, and just like what you just said, every word in his fucking vernacular to bitch that fucking principal out. And it was just like, no problem. Okay. Like, it was reverberating through the hallways. and not only that, it reminded me of Uncle Buck, that clip in Uncle Buck where he's like, here's a quarter, go downtown and have a rat and all that thing off your face, when he was bitching at the principal for saying they're undisciplined, and they're 4 years old, like. So yeah, it was just like that. It just got chewed out, and it's funny because I think that's the first and the last time they ever called my dad down to the school.
But yeah,
You'll never
just
tell
to
on her
reiterate,
again.
we do not need corporal punishment in our schools.
No.
We do not need that.
When I was living in Florida, I'm sorry, my kids went to school in Florida, and I had to actually sign a paper that said they were not allowed to give my children corporal punishment.
My Lord.
And this is going back 30 years. Okay?
That's why my mom was upset, because she had signed that form, and they had that form. He even had it on his desk, and she shoved it in his face and was like, "What does it say?"
When I passed that paper back in, I let them know on no uncertain terms if they laid one finger on my children, there would be repercussions, let's just say. I couldn't believe I was getting this paper to sign. I was like, what the actual fuck is this?
I can imagine as a parent to get that, knowing that there are kids in that school whose parents are going to say, yes, go ahead.
Yeah, beat my boy. He needs to be beat several times a day.
I can't control him. Maybe you guys can do better. Parents can't control their own children. They can't. If you hit your kid, you can have child services called on you, for crying out loud.
Mm-hmm. Only if you leave a bruise, and only in certain areas.
Oh my God.
I had a police officer tell both my husband and I that it was perfectly okay to spank your kid in public, because not only were they receiving punishment, but they were receiving embarrassment. And I went, what the fuck kind of world do you grow up in? Is that how you policed? No. No.
That's fucked up. We're going to do it just to embarrass you.
Men in power.
Yeah.
Yep.
Idiots. Yeah. Idiots in power. Let's just.
Yeah. They're not men.
No, because
they couldn't match a pimple on a man's ass.
So
yeah, I get toe up from the flow up. I've called out a few adults in public for reprimanding their child way too harshly.
I have to agree with IHIP. The ladies of IHIP, they do a longer form, and it's about their petty grievances and whatever. So instead of doing their 15, 20-minute clips about politics, they'll do a longer form. It's like an hour long or whatever. So, and their long form, they always bring up the fact that these parents dragging their young kids places, like to restaurants, like fancy schmancy fucking restaurants. It's one thing if it's Chuck E. Cheese or the local deli or, you know what I mean? Like, but not, where there's other kids and when they have a kid menu and you know what I mean? Like stuff like that.
Yeah. You don't take them to Ruth's Chris.
No, you don't take them to fancy schmancy and let them run around all fucking crazy and wild and screaming. And they're like, you are putting your child in harm. And oh my God. So there was I can't remember what it was now, the thing today, but they always say you should not bring your children in public spaces. You should stay home with your children until they're old enough, until they're disciplined enough to not run around screaming in a fucking restaurant or run around screaming, knocking shit off at the fucking grocery store and all this other kind of shit. Leave your kids at home. And I know that's, and they both have kids. So they're like,
yeah, I watched that episode.
When we were at home, we stayed the fuck home. I didn't want to be embarrassed by my kid. And when they acted up in a restaurant, I would apologize. Everyone around me, I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on, as any parent would, I'm sure. I'm not a parent, so I'm, you guys are, and I'm speaking out of turn here. But, well, there's a point in time, and I'll tell you what, when my sister and I were brought to restaurants as children, number one, we had to dress up. Number two, we had sit down, shut up, and fucking behave. And if we didn't, we would get fucking our asses beat or chewed the fuck out right there in the restaurant. Just like, they were saying, go ahead and do it so you embarrass them. But the funny thing is, like, we didn't really get it. We were never, the threat was there to scare us enough not to act like that. And that's what these kids don't have. They have these la-di-da, here's a computer, here, put a cell phone in front of your face and a TV. That's the way they think they're going to raise their kids. Like we were raised. Forget about it.
Is to set them up to fail.
Yeah.
They piss everybody off. They've got that bad attitude. And it's like, well, deal with my kid, and they're just pissy about it. So I don't know. My kids always rose to the occasion. We had the deal. We expected things of them, and they kind of like, cool. They have, mom and dad are going to take us here, and they think we can handle it. And they generally did. Sometimes we had straws in noses, but I still do that. I'm just kidding.
There's one thing my kid despises more than anything else, and that is a timeout. Right? Because she wants to be around people. She wants to be the center of attention. She wants to be able to, play her video game or get on her tablet when she wants to. So when we go out to eat, if she starts to misbehave, all of a sudden she's sitting in the truck with mommy in dead silence, not allowed to speak, neither one of us, for a minimum of 5 minutes. If we got to do it a second time, it's 10 minutes.
Yeah.
If I have to do it a third time, we're going home.
We're leaving. Yeah.
And with the grocery store, she loves going to the grocery store with her dad. And anytime she acts out at the grocery store on the next trip, she'll ask, can I go? And the response is always, you couldn't behave last time, so no, you can't go this time. So there's a consequence to the action, not just a punishment. It's a legitimate consequence. So, yeah.
It's the consequence that gets them more than anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, it was definitely the consequences. If I misbehaved, I knew that the consequences would be dire. Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, exactly. Like when our parents would take us out, we were like, holy shit, they're taking us out. We better be good.
Mm-hmm.
Hello? And we were. Because we knew there were consequences if we weren't.
Speaking of, that's the dipshit in the White House right now never received consequences
ever,
and it's part of the reason he's the asshole that he is today.
He got consequences one time that we know of, and I think that's another reason why he's bald on the top of his head, is because his father put hot mashed potatoes on top of his head and probably scalded his scalp. And that's probably why he's so fucking bald, okay? And had to have scalp reconstruction surgery or whatever the fuck he's had, whatever the fuck that's left on top of his head. And that's a famous story in Mary Trump's book. And that he was laughed at. All his siblings laughed at him. His father laughed at him. His mother laughed at him. And that was it. That broke him. And that from that moment on, he was a fucking nightmare, throwing rocks at kids in strollers and trying to push his. Oh, this one should sound familiar. Trying to push his. No, his father did it.
Everybody's saying his brother did.
No, in the book, I'm pretty sure the father did it. So anyway, I don't have the book, so I didn't read it, so I don't know. And if the brother did it, it doesn't matter. He was humiliated. And at that moment, no more. If this one doesn't sound familiar, he tried to throw his military school roommate out the window. This is what a nightmare person he was then. And nobody ever stopped him after that. Nobody ever said no to him. The Canadian Prime Minister going, Canada's not for sale. And he's like, never say never. And he's like, never to the cameras. I could never find that, but I was just, it was too far away for me to see it when the clip that I saw. And I'm like, I can't really see that, but hey, people in the room saying it, that's good. Because, put that fucking motherfucker in his place. Nobody tells him no. Diane Russell, it was Mary's dad. It was Mary's dad. Okay, maybe that's why I got confused. Okay. So
his uncle.
Yeah, it was brother. Dinky's brother. So anyway, yeah, so I didn't read the book, and if, I trust you guys to know the real story, but I just remember hearing that and I go, that's what it is. That moment broke him when everybody was laughing. How he's like, the whole world is laughing at us because of Biden. No, the whole world's laughing at you because you're a total fucking buffoon and you seem to prove it on a daily motherfucking basis.
Moment to moment basis.
Yeah.
How about this trade deal that he tried to announce today that is 2 weeks away, based on what he said, another 2 weeks.
It's a
away
concept of a trade deal.
Yeah, exactly. It's the concept of a trade deal.
And not only that, it's with UK, and we have a surplus with UK. It's not. Oh my God, he's so he just needed a tariff deal to announce, because he said 90 days, 90 deals, blah blah blah, whatever.
Yeah, I got 200 deals on the phone.
Yeah, right. There's only 195 countries, you fucko.
How about the fact that he called Mattel? Did you guys see this? He called Mattel a country. So the toy manufacturer, Mattel, he called them a country.
Oh my God.
Oh, he's just as bad as Harriet Hagman saying, well, we should call the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America because, San Diego, California is dropping sewage into the Gulf of Mexico. Honey, San Diego, California is on the Pacific motherfucking Ocean.
She's getting the Gulf of Mexico. She's getting the Gulf of Mexico mixed up with Baja California.
Yeah.
Which one is about this wide and one is about this wide.
There are two Gulf of Americas. One is in Russia,
Oh, shit.
What are you talking about?
There are two Gulf of Americas.
Never heard of this.
Yep. There again with my stupid knowledge. Yep. If you Google Gulf of America, Russia, it shows you where it is.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What? Tony's doing it right now. No, but the thing about it is, I don't know how you find this shit, Sage, but it's amazing. And that's why we want you to come back on the show. Because I'm like, what? I don't know. Somehow it hits New Hampshire and it doesn't go any fucking further than that.
They like keeping things up and tight with the button lip up in New Hampshire.
Yeah. So when I looked it up, I'm like, I Googled it because I thought, okay, this man is so petty. I wonder if this name is somewhere else and he wants it for himself. And sure shit, it came up, and it's shares the waterways of like Russia, and I'm like, okay, well, there it is. It has a couple of names, and that's one of them. He has no on his head.
Tony's going to share the screen, but I can't really read it from here. So that's when I wish Tony had a microphone and he could just read it to us. Every now and again, Sage, you do drop out. And so you maybe should look for headphones like Benny's got, where it's just the earplugs, but a microphone right here.
Okay.
Yeah. Instead of trying to buy a microphone and all that bullshit, they're way less expensive than trying to buy a mic. You know what I mean?
Oh, good idea. Thank you.
But you are kind of dropping out at the beginning, right? At the beginning when you start to talk. So yeah. But hopefully, that's not because we're talking over each other and all that bullshit. We try not to. All right, what does this say? I can't see it.
Yeah.
Make it bigger, Tony. There you go.
Something Gulf of America.
Historically called Gulf of America.
It's Net Hotko Bay, but now it's called the Gulf of America, and this is in Russia.
Yep.
Oh my God! What fucking idiots! Just idiots. Well,
I wonder how many we didn't know that existed. I wonder how many MAGA knew that existed.
No, none of them. 0.0 know about it.
That's good. I'm gonna guess. Done.
Yes.
But I have a new little bit of information to add to my repertoire.
Go for it.
I'm just gonna have to print it out.
Right.
Put it on paper.
So it seems like the administration is objectively pro-plane crash now because the FAA suspends work of independent panel reviewing air traffic controls. FAA ordered an independent panel hired to recommend ways to strengthen oversight of its air traffic control operation to stop work.
That's just like stop testing for the
salmonella and
stop testing and it won't exist. Stop doing the tests, it'll go away.
Canada lady. So I know everybody probably
made an appearance.
What's that?
So sorry about that. Cletus had to make an appearance.
Okay. No one saw it, so don't worry. I love this. I wanted to get this on our show just because this Canadian lady calls Dinky an asshole, and I think that we could all agree on that. The whole world agrees on that one. And I'm sure everybody already saw this, but
is it
and
Nana?
she's like, yeah, and she goes, I'm sorry, but I just have to say. And
I love her.
I know, I love her too. With her Georgia or Keith or what are your name? Jackie Onassis glasses on. You know what I mean?
I think who I voted for would be the best to take care of Trump, because Trump is, I'm sorry to say, an ass, and he shouldn't even be president of the United States. But because he is, we need a strong person so that we could stand strong.
Yep. So congratulations, Canada, and we love your prime minister. He's totally awesome, and I love it when he calls Dinky out to his face.
Gives me a side eye.
The side eye. He was going. You know when you're like you're trying to bite your tongue because you don't want to laugh, and he's like, he's pinching his face, rolling his eyes, and looking like, oh God, it was great. Because he's a fucking imbecile. Everybody knows he's a fucking imbecile. And totally embarrassed.
Everybody but him. He thinks he's the best and smartest thing since sliced bread. He truly does.
Yeah.
Which is tragic.
I know. Because nobody ever told him, no, you're not. you're worse than a pile of dog shit.
Yeah.
Literally.
And I still think that the minute that dawn, it dawns on him at some point that everybody's been blowing smoke up his ass and he really is an asshole, he's going to snap. There's going to be a psychotic break. It's going to be ugly.
We were talking about that the other day, a psychotic break, when the illusion that he has created for so long that he's a smart businessman. Well, I think everybody's figuring that out right now, that he's not a smart businessman. If he was a smart businessman, he wouldn't be doing all this tariff bullshit. He's just doing it to be a gangster and say, well, if you want the tariffs taken down, then you have to do something for me.
Putting a strong arm on everybody.
Yeah.
That's what they call that.
Yeah. Nice little business here. It'd be terrible if something happened to it.
Yeah.
And if you don't
It'd
pay
be a
us
pity if something happened.
Yeah. If you don't pay us $1,000 a month, it might burn down next week.
Yep.
That's how the
strong
mob
arm
did it back in the day. All roads lead to Russia. 100%. Damon Dog. Yep. 100%. And I don't even know what happened here, but Trump.
Who I voted for.
Trump says he'll pull the nomination of Ed Martin, who defended the Jan 6 rioters, for D.C. U.S. Attorney. I don't think we should have a District of Columbia United States Attorney that defends Jan 6ers.
Insurrectionists. Right. Let's just call them what they are.
Yeah. Jan
6ers is really putting a lot of icing on that fucking ugly boil.
Well, yeah. It's in all my notes. An insurrectionist is really, really quite long.
It's harder to write.
And then I just can do J and 6, right? And then I just know that that's what it is in my notes. When the insurrectionist takes up that much fucking space.
I get it.
So,
I know.
What's the latest on Greenland?
Okay, so Malcolm Nance, our black man spy, is planning on going to Greenland, and he's going to be doing, posts from there to find out what's going on. We do know that, where is it? Oh, yeah. He says, in his opinion, from his black man spy mentality, knowing about intel and military and everything, he goes, he's spying on fucking Denmark and fucking Greenland right now. And I forget who busted him. I think it was like the UK or somebody, I forget. Somebody else busted him. Busted us, the United States of America, spying on motherfucking Greenland. Tony, what's the population of Greenland? I'm just curious. 56,000 people.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know it's under 100.
56,000 people. Do you realize, the stadium...
We fit that many people in a stadium, yes.
The stadium at University of Michigan fits 77,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Holds 130.
Oh, yeah. Well, back in the day, it was 77. Now it's 130. I forgot about the upgrades and the things they put around the top. Yeah, for all the rich people. So anyway, Back in the day when I used to go to games, it was 77,000. So anyway, now it's more. Anyway, it doesn't matter. My point being, all the 50,000 people that live there, he wants to give $10,000 to them. So what's 50,000 times 10,000? 500,000? 5 million? I don't know. I can't do this math in my head. There's too many fucking zeros.
All I need is 2 zeros.
I don't
Just
know.
give me
5
2.
million bucks? It takes only $5 million to pay each person that lives in Greenland 10 grand bribe for us to take you over.
It's 500 million.
500 million. Somebody said 5 million. Robert Carr. Yeah.
It's absurd. You know, it's like he thinks he could just wave money and buy any motherfucking thing he wants. I mean, he bought an election, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, Elon did, but yeah, who's counting?
Not without Dinky's help.
Yeah. Yeah, Catfish Hound, Greenland, all the towns are coastal and basically travels via plane everywhere. Carry the 2, Diane. Oh, shit. I can't do this shit in my fucking head. Okay? Like, I can't. So, no, it's just ridiculous. Just like he wants to pay all these white women $5 grand to have a kid. Well, guess what? It takes $100,000 a year to have a kid. What are you going to do about that? How are you going to help with that?
No. How about the $1,000 stimulus checks he wants to give undocumented people to deport themselves?
What? I didn't hear that.
Just throwing money at everything.
Oh, yeah.
Money
He's
fixes
offering
everything.
Not only is he offering them $1,000 for them to keep, but he's offering to cover their transportation costs as well. Because his deportation numbers are so low compared to Joe Biden. He's got a 20,000 deficit of on monthly deportations. Biden was 57,000 a month on average. His is 37,000 a month on average, and it pisses him off so much.
He has to
he's willing to give $1,000 stimulus check to undocumented migrants for them to deport themselves.
Oh my
God!
God!
I've moved across the country, and it cost me no less than 20 grand.
Right. Well, this might make sense because now I hear that he's threatening to send people to Libya.
Yes.
So if rises them into thinking, I don't want to go to Libya or El Salvador. Maybe I'll try to get my butt across.
And the new one, not only Libya, but Ukraine. We're going to send you to a war zone in Ukraine.
Here comes the Hague. Here comes the Hague. Order in the courthouse. Here comes the Hague. Here comes the Hague. Yes, I've been waiting for the Hague to step up, and I believe that they're doing something as we speak.
They went and saw him a couple weeks ago. Mark Rutte went to the White House, and I got a printout. Diane, I don't know what I did with it. I don't know where it is, but I should send it to you later. And it has a list of things that Mark Rutte discussed with Trump. And one of it was Trump was being made a fool of by Putin. And the next statement was any and all people who are assisting in the mistreatment of immigrants is going to be held accountable. And so maybe all of these things are really reaching home.
I think somebody filed, I can't recall the name, but I think somebody in The Hague filed last night or within the last couple days.
Really?
Charges against.
Wow, Terry said Libya said hell no to any flights. Hey, great.
Good for you,
Don,
Libya.
we don't want, and they're fucking brutal people over there, but they're like, we don't want your shit over here, dude. Don't bring us into this fucking mess.
We got enough of our own bullshit. We don't need yours too.
Is it still run by Muammar Gaddafi?
I have no idea. Libya?
I think-
I don't think so.
You,
I thought
you
Gaddafi
remember-
was dead.
Do you remember decades ago, Trump hosted Muammar Gaddafi at Seven Springs up in New York, that mansion they have up
Yeah.
there, and he had him sleep in a tent out on the lawn.
Yeah, no, I believe Gaddafi's
What?
dead. I think they got him.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, Gaddafi's dead.
Oh man, that's funny.
Yeah, Moms Russo
think-
said Gaddafi's dead. Yeah.
I remember back in the 70s, I had a T-shirt with a duck on it that looked like Gaddafi, and it said Gaddafi duck.
Duck.
That miserable motherfucker.
And I don't get this. Fucking Dickie
Another
thinks
one with a little penis.
little tinies.
I
Little-
don't have one.
I know. We gotta get you in a little orange mushroom. We gotta do ones for
Kind
Lindsay
of
too.
penis.
You got a large one.
Well, they're bigger. They go in like the garden.
Okay.
I don't want to touch it. I don't want.
Yeah, don't touch it.
My mom made this one. It's made of
Aw.
ceramic, so I don't mind touching it. And it's not orange,
Yeah.
so
Mine's glass.
I feel really comfortable touching it.
Mom sent me this one, so I have a prop.
Yeah.
It's just so tiny and cute, though. I can't. It's just so not dinky.
Stockholm rejects bizarre U.S. demand that the city and embassy contractors be anti-DEI in Stockholm, Sweden. Honey, you are not the police of the world. You can really fuck off.
Well, he already said he's ruling the world. You heard it. You heard it. I'm not only the president, I run the whole world.
Yet another delusion of grandeur.
Yeah, France was also hit with the demand. France and Europe will defend their companies, their customers, and also their values, said the French foreign minister. So good for you. And keep it up and just put double middle fingers in his face and be like, we're not going to comply.
Make sure you smile when you do it.
We ain't going to
Makes it-
comply.
It totally makes it more effective.
Yeah, just enough with your bolstering and think you can run the world and be like, only white people. No. You know what? The funny thing is, you guys trying to erase DEI so hard makes us all realize that white, weak, mediocre men are really fucking pathetic. And they are so fucking scared because a woman or a person of color or even a trans person can take their job and do it 50 million times better because they've been running it so far. And look at the shit show we're in fucking now.
I don't know, you know.
Mecca.
I mean, like, I know Vinny likes me, but, like, you know, I don't know.
Oh my God. I like down now.
Oh my
He likes
God.
me. Oh my
Do
God.
now.
I like the other one. Tell the
Oh.
other drop. Do that one.
You know, like he's got the bod, but his brains are bad news.
Brains are bad news. Those are drops from Valley
God
Girl.
damn.
Since I've been MAGA Valley Girl of Barbie recently.
I don't know, you know.
Oh my
I
God.
mean, like, I know Vinny likes me, but, like, you know, I don't know.
Vinny. Vinny.
So everyone in the chat is talking about MTG losing her shit in the oversight committee hearing
I
with the
missed
gavel.
this. I got the one with Jasmine Crockett. I got two with Jasmine Crockett. One on the news and one in the chambers. But how did I miss this MTG thing?
I don't know.
I missed her meltdown. I normally live for her meltdowns.
I was literally waiting for the gavel every time she hit the desk with it. I was waiting for the top of it to just fly off and hit her in the head. Because she was just
Tony, you gotta
like Krispy
search for
Nome and a
that.
dog. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta search for that. So I had the Libya story, which we already brought up. And thank God Libya's telling him fucking hell now. So I got we'll bring up Crockett all at the same time. And now, by the way, I like this post while he's trying to look for it. Anyone else notice how all of a sudden no one's eating our cats and dogs anymore? No one's performing sex change operations in schools or aborting babies after birth anymore. The prices of eggs doesn't matter, and a recession isn't a bad thing. It's just a necessary growing pain. Oh my God. I think I'm going insane.
For closing
It's just
remarks.
crazy pills we take. Motherfuckers. Yeah, everybody. Y'all
How
out there
long
in
is
the
it?
real world, y'all that breathe in reality.
All right. If I
It's
can
time
watch.
to step up to these people and school them in public.
Yeah.
Like embarrass them. Yes.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Dinky blaming
It
Pete
really
Buttigieg for
is.
all the air traffic chaos is like blaming your wife for catching you cheating on her.
Yeah.
Oh, and the new poll is for Illinois, and Dickie's butt has got to be really fucking hurt right now. Oh my God.
Especially considering the posts that this particular individual made before he was named Pope, calling out both Dinky and Vance.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then I've got Sean Davis saying, according to his Twitter feed, what's his name? Pope Leo
Leo the 14th.
Okay, Leo the 14th. The newly selected Pope trashed Trump, trashed Vance, trashed border enforcement, endorsed Dreamer-style illegal immigration, repeated praised and honored George Floyd, and endorsed Democrat senators, and I don't know, it gets cut off, and then Cat Turd goes, "This is so bad." Cat Turd. You know, when Cat Turd's upset, shit is going real wrong in the fucking Republican Party. And then Ron Filipkowski goes, "This day just keeps getting better."
I think Cat Turd. I think Cat Turd is, like somebody in his inner circle.
Yeah.
He tells them what to say, and they say, just like he tells
are we talking
everybody
about
else.
Cat Turd, the guy who had jars of pee on his shelf?
Cat Turd.
Behind him, there was jars of pee, and I don't know how else to explain it, but the last time I saw a video of him, there was literally jars of pee on the shelf.
He's made his
behind him.
face visible. I didn't know.
Yes, there was,
because I don't bother with that.
I know,
brain-numbing fucking bullshit.
Yeah,
There's
he went
no
on a couple of
valuable
right-wing
information there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you did go on a right-wing podcast, but the right is freaking out about the
There you
new
go,
Pope.
Sage.
I'm saving my face.
Good job.
Okay, Tony's got the gavel thing with MTG losing her fucking mind. I missed this somehow.
Get ready.
Oh boy, do I have to put on my seatbelt in my computer chair?
Don't hold your beer.
The gentlelady's time has
I
expired.
also want to acknowledge
The gentlelady's time has expired. I now recognize
do we not have a
Miss McLean from Michigan.
Point of order.
Allocated
You took a minute of my time, wasting my time on a non-point of order. The gentlelady's time has expired. I now recognize
was not running during the
Miss
point
McLean
of order.
from
Your
Michigan.
time was not wasted. And to the trans
I now
community,
recognize
we
Miss McLean
stand
from-
with you, with the
Madam.
LGBTQ plus community. We stand with you, and you can
Madam
break
Chair.
my eardrums all you want, Madam Chair, but we stand with the LGBTQ plus community, and you can gavel me till
Order. This hearing will come to order.
Stop it.
This hearing will come to order.
Madam Chair, I have a
This
question.
hearing will come to order.
Madam Chair, I
This
just-
hearing will come to order. I now recognize
a point of order.
Ms. McLean
I
from
just
Michigan.
have a point of order.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Let me tell you.
Madam Chair, I
Yeah.
had a
What's your
point of order. Could we just have the timekeeper, log the time between both the Democrats and Republicans, and then we rebalanced them so that we each have equal time. That's pretty basic.
We will consider.
Wow.
You can play air drums all you want, Madam Chair.
You can play air drums all you want.
As Wizzy said in the chat, her new name is Bam Bam.
I actually have a gavel somewhere, and I'd love to see that thing like bounce off that thing and go boom right into her fucking forehead, just like you were saying, just like knock herself out.
Did you see? She literally was like, "Where do I have to hit this thing for people to stop talking?"
It was moving.
Where?
She had to move
It kept moving out of the way. She kept having to shove it back in its spot.
You pathetic. You fucking pathetic bitch.
You know what's sad? You know what's really sad is I spent a lot of years in the South, and there's a lot of women who look just like her. I mean, the same eyes, really close together, really bad built, butch bodies, bleach blonde, the whole fucking nine.
Yeah.
You know,
the fake tan. Because she's all of a sudden she's tan again. Like I don't know when she got so tan.
I'm just saying, there's a breed of women in the South that they look like her.
There's a breed of women up here that look like her too.
I think it has to do with incest.
You see them in the Midwest too, because there's not a lot of there's not a deep gene pool there either.
Yes.
And it's so funny because, and I know that if Elizabeth is Elizabeth in our chat, I haven't seen her. Okay, if MTG reminds me of my sister, and so I hope you're out there somewhere, Elizabeth, laughing your ass off because, like, serious, the same horse face, the same. Yeah, I don't know.
The look of whatever it is that's on your face.
The look of MAGA.
Oh my God, it's so true.
It's a gene puddle. You're right, John Depp. It's a gene puddle. It's not a gene pool.
It's not a pool. It's a puddle.
Jim the Geek. It's a Karen subspecies.
It's the baby swamp.
Oh, and my God, this woman at the playground calling this little black kid the N-word because he went in the bag.
Somebody stop me, Diane. I hate that you brought this up because I'm still not done being mad at it.
Oh my God. And she's got what, almost $800,000 from MAGA.
I'm still not done being mad at it. I'm still not done being mad at it. Oh my God.
Gross.
Somebody.
No.
Somebody.
Can I get a beer?
Save me. Save me. Because I'm not done being mad at this bitch.
Oh, not at all.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, there was an Australian that opened up a MAGA themed restaurant.
That does make me feel better.
Within 3 weeks, it was closed.
Awesome.
No.
Weren't they encouraging the N-word in there or something?
Yes. So your pancakes came with a side of racism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Disgusting. That woman who said that to that child needs to have her children removed from
I'm
her
not playing it.
because
We're not playing
she
it on
is,
our show. Nope.
She's causing them damage beyond fucking measure.
She was on Piers
Her
Morgan.
own children.
Yeah, she was on Piers Morgan saying, "Yeah, I guess I'm a racist, a neo-Nazi." Like she was just going on. So
And he was like, and you are a vile human being for acting like that. And Piers Morgan is no lefty.
Right. No pun intended.
Not but a long shot.
I would say correct instead of right. It's funny because I always do that now.
I feel when I saw the video and I saw that baby in her arms and I knew what she's doing to that baby just because of her hate, that she's making it a generational again. again, because she didn't suffer enough trauma from it, she's going to spread it to the next generation.
Well, I guess the conversation is that back during the day of slavery, white women would do that to their slaves and their children because they couldn't push back against their own husband because they were basically owned by the husband. So they would just be awful, absolutely awful to the slaves and their children. So it kind of has that same, she doesn't view these people as anything other than that. And they feel there's nothing wrong with it. And it's crazy to think that we've come so far, but
it's the entitlement. It's the entitlement that the Christo-fascists, these evangelicals, they are entitled. They are better than everybody else. That's the theme of everything that they do and say. They are better because they're white, and even if they're poor, they are better than any other person of color or person of the LGBTQ community. I'm better. I am righteous. No, you are a fucking idiot, and you're in a cult.
It's just like that.
When atheists are more Christian than you are, there's a fucking problem, bro.
When it's just like that MAGA woman that came out right after I think it was right after the ICE raid started happening. And she's on TikTok, but she came out, she did a video and she's like, I don't want to hear you people crying. To me, you are subhuman. And that's the way they all view it. The way they all view it. She just said it out loud.
Yeah, they've been told. They have been indoctrinated to believe that anybody who's not white is subhuman.
Yeah.
When the left is like, hey, y'all, come on in. The water's warm. Party's fucking about to start. Let's roll. You know, because we're just like, we want everybody. We want everybody here.
Yeah.
Especially white women. Especially white men. We need more people who are like, I can critically think. I can I can critically think. There are days when I'm like, am I going crazy? No, I'm not.
So maybe we can make a trade, Diane. Maybe we can take those 57,000 people from Greenland, bring them over, and we could stick MAGA out there.
There you go.
Leave them with the polar bears.
Yeah. Problem
there is we got to get rid of about, 5 million of them, because I'm going to say that 2 million of them have jumped off the Trump train.
I would say it's more like the 76 fucking million triple Trumpers that fucking voted for him for the third fucking time. And guess what? They
fucking scoop them all up.
They'll overpopulate the island. In the middle of the island will be filled with shit because they can't run. They can't manage themselves out of fucking wet paper bag. I know that it took me a long time to get that out. They can't. We've watched it over and over. They cannot manage themselves out of a fucking wet paper bag. They constantly vote against their own interests because they are told this is happening and that is happening. Bing, 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 bing. But in actuality, no. It's all distraction from what Dinky's doing, from what the Republican Party is taking away from you on a daily fucking basis.
I don't understand how somebody could be told something and not verify it. Period.
Well,
this sounds a little far-fetched. I better look into this.
Yeah, but they're intellectually lazy. They have no desire. If it comes out of his mouth, it is, the word of the land.
It comes out of his mouth, and then it comes out of Fox News, and then it comes out of OAN and Newsmax and everywhere else.
Oh,
the message is done.
I think this is a good time to show the Jasmine Crockett Trump or trans clip.
Yeah,
it really hits your point home very well, Diane.
So, Miss.
Let's play a game. This is it. I love it.
So.
Just fire. She's just fire.
Yes, she is.
Miss Gosgraves, I want to play a game. It's called Trump or Trans. You ready?
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to tell me whether or not it is Trump or trans people that are responsible. You understand?
Got it.
Okay, very good. The first one, gutted medical research.
Trump.
Kidnapping Americans and sending them to foreign countries, a.k.a. deporting them.
Trump.
Driving us into a recession.
Trump.
Increasing the cost of everything.
Trump.
Waging an idiotic tariff war.
Trump.
Harming farmers.
Trump.
Ignoring the Constitution.
Trump.
Proposing to take away Social Security.
Trump.
Cutting health care.
Trump.
Firing government workers who keep our country safe.
Trump.
Encouraging an environment of hate and divisiveness.
Trump.
Thank you so much. This committee could be engaged in actual oversight of fraud, waste, abuse, and mismanagement. So let's talk about waste. Like Trump's plan to spend almost $100 million for his little birthday parade. Or how he spent 25% of his first 100 days golfing, costing taxpayers tens of millions of dollars. In fact, it's a little bit over 30 million at our last estimation. In fact, President Trump is on pace to spend more than $1 billion of taxpayer dollars just on golfing. Yet the Republicans have been silent. So they must think spending taxpayer dollars on the president's golfing trips is more important than providing health care to their constituents. And when I talk about constituents, we're going to talk about the ones on this committee.
The woman sitting next to her, smiling and shaking her head, is taking so much pleasure and enjoyment out of this whoop-ass session.
Yeah, and look at MTG in the background, not even paying attention, looking down at her phone.
I didn't see her because my eyes.
Yeah, it is. It's her in her pink outfit.
So,
I was looking at the enjoyable part, which was that chick having a blast.
When I love how she goes on to for various people that were on that committee, she pulls their district and she says, this is how many kids are going to lose Medicaid funding in your district, and this is how many will lose it here, and this is how many will lose it here, and this, and then finally adds up the total, and it's like 600,000 kids that will lose their medical coverage, but they're going to in that CR, I just want everybody to know, they are allocating $300 million just so he can go play golf.
Yep, his golf allotment.
Yeah, that is in that CR. $300 million just so he can go play golf.
When he is projected to spend $1 billion by the end of the year. $1 billion playing golf. $1 billion.
Yeah.
I can't with this motherfucker. I can't. I'm going to fucking lose it. So we also have Tim. Well, we also have Jasmine on MSNBC.
They also were supposed to have.
You know, you took food out of my mouth, roof out over my head. Yeah, this is great. Another one.
They also were supposed to have a markup as it relates to agriculture and SNAP benefits, cutting $220 billion from SNAP when people only get $6 a day to eat in SNAP benefits for those that do receive it. And the last time I checked, you probably can't get 12 eggs for that amount of money. And so instead of doing it, literally there was a leak in a story that came out where staffers said, no, we want to make sure we can flood the zone. So whenever we do this, we're going to make sure that these committees are going to be at the same time. Like the fact that you're hiding from your constituents, the fact that you literally just are like, let me just throw everything at you so that we can overwhelm you. Instead of actually doing your job, I cannot wait until voters have an opportunity to say, you took food out of my mouth, you took a roof from over my head, you're responsible for making sure that I do not have health care. I'm going to make sure you don't have a job.
Boom. Drop that motherfucking microphone. I'm going to make sure you don't have a job.
I love the way he gets chuffed up about her idea. He's like, yeah.
Because she's fire. And that's
It's
the messaging.
refreshing for him to actually sit there and talk to somebody with a fucking brain.
Oh, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
You see, he actually got an endorphin rush off of that shit.
Yeah.
It was all over his face.
And again, I hear
I
Tim
love it.
Walz doesn't really want to run for president in 2028, but I think he should. I think he should.
Who
He's
said
a-
he did it? Did he say it?
I'm not exactly, I've heard that he's not really interested. Whether that was a good source or not, I'm not exactly sure. But I think he should. Because we need a white man to run up against a white man. And oh, by the way, don't you fucking dare think that Dinky is not going to try to run in 2028. I don't want to hear about the amendments and the Constitution and all this fucking shit. He's going to fucking try to do it. He's been talking about it since his last fucking administration. I really don't want to fucking hear another word about it. He's going to do it. He's going to try. And we have to do everything in our fucking power to be like, oh, fucking hell no.
He'll be hella defeated long before that happens. In
Well, we hope so.
One way, shape, or form, life is going to sort Sir Dinky out. And it's going to be an earth-shattering kaboom. And he's never going to see it coming. See?
Yeah, here's Tim Walz. Shit. We got a phone call and a video going on at the same time as a fucking nightmare.
Yay!
Kathy.
Kathy's in.
Kathy.
Hey, Kathy.
To send a voicemail, press 2.
Kathy, thanks for calling. Go ahead.
Hey, hi, everybody. First of all, I just wanted to say, yes, I grew up with parents that, in addition to if we went to a restaurant, if we went to someone else's house and I did not sit quietly, you don't touch anything, you don't talk till you're spoken to, you sit there quietly, you sit there like a lady, and if I acted up, I wouldn't be able to sit for a week.
You in the days that we were raised, children were seen and not heard, Kathy.
Yes,
That's
but
why.
I mean, it was just
That was
you
the
say
rule.
if you want something, you say please. If you get something, you say thank you. It was like just driven into my head that when you are in public with me, this is how you behave. Period. End of sentence.
And I always got the end of that was, you will not embarrass our family name.
Yes. Yes. Either you will not embarrass our family or you will not embarrass me. If it was just me and my mom. But, you know, my mom was a stickler. It's like, you will behave in public and you will understand how to behave yourself.
And you'll put your napkin in your lap and you're fucking not going to be throwing food and just like the whole 9 yards.
Oh my God, all of that.
Elbows off the table.
Oh my God, that was another one I got yelled. Because when we went to say grace before dinner, I'd put my elbows on the table, you know, and fold my hands, and I'd rest my head on my hands, and they're like, "Hey, no elbows on the table."
Am I supposed to pray or not?
I know, right? But I also wanted to say that when it comes to this Pope, you know, because I was really worried. The right was pushing for this guy Dolan. I think he's Cardinal Dolan. I don't know what city he's out of, but he's just like them, a right-wing maggot, and he's all Trumpy and all this, and they're trying to say he should be the next Pope. So they got their first Pope from America, just not the one they were planning on. And what I've already heard about this guy is that he was born and raised in America. He went to Villanova, but after he graduated, he did not spend a lot of time in the U.S. after that. He was in Peru running a church there. He knows a ton of languages. Like, he was speaking in both Italian and German when he was giving his speech after the announcement. But also, the reason he chose the name Leo, I did not know this, is Pope Leo was known for his progressive stance on immigration. You are to welcome the stranger in your home. You are to be kind to those who are from other countries. And at the time he did it, it was really revolutionary. But, you know, they said it is significant why he chose the name Leo, and it has to do with he is going to follow Francis's path about everyone should be welcome and no one should be turned away.
Nice. That's good to hear. And, you know, I kind of knew he was a good guy just because the freak out on the right.
Yes. I know, right?
I'm like, this guy's got to be cool.
I was sweating bullets here for a minute. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, me too.
I know.
Because I was like, all we need is a MAGA Pope.
Oh, yeah. I was.
I
really was.
The sky would fall.
Right.
Yeah, I know that Opus Dei was pumping money into the Vatican for their pick, and they didn't get it.
It's so good.
Good. You know, they failed.
I find it very refreshing that it only took 2 days for this conclave. I don't know if you guys remember how long it took for Pope Francis, but 2 days is very short for a papal conclave.
They didn't want us to leave that seat of power open too long.
Yeah.
Right. And the other thing, too, that I found out about him, Pope Leo, is that he was Pope Francis's right-hand man. He's the one who took care of applications when bishops wanted to become cardinals. He ran all of that, and they said, what makes him unique for this position? He knows everybody. Because when you're the guy that they have to go to if they want to become a cardinal, and you got to submit all your paperwork and you got to have many interviews with him and all this kind of stuff, it's like he knows who all of them are. He knows who, you know, he knows who's for what and who's not. And so, you know, I think he's very smart. He's 67. And that's the other thing. They picked a guy. When they picked Francis, and I forget how, Francis was in his 70s, I think. But he managed to, you know, get 12 years in. And this guy's 67, so I'm thinking he's going to be around a good 20 years or so, which is going to make the right freak out even more.
Terry S. said he speaks 8 languages. Terry
Anything that makes the right freak out makes me giggle.
Yeah, Terry says he speaks 8 languages. Now that's a smart guy.
Yeah.
And it wasn't Bobert. Hold on, it wasn't Bobert that called the new pope a woke Marxist pope. It was Laura fucking Loomer.
Oh God,
that fucking nut job.
That lunatic.
Yeah,
he's a lunatic.
So the new pope speaks all those languages that Donald Trump has never heard, right? All those bizarre languages.
Like English.
What did he call? What did he call them? All those foreign languages.
Yeah.
Yeah,
all right. Well,
exactly.
Callie, thank you so much for calling in. We're gonna play this clip from Tim Walz.
Okay.
All right.
And just one more quick,
Thank you,
one last quick thing is I was just mentioning that I've been mentioning this to everybody. It's like to get through, because when the tariffs hit and we're running out of goods in the next 6 or 7 weeks, think like your grandmothers, your mothers, and your great grandmothers. They knew how to survive the Depression, and they knew how to make a meal last for a week. So you can go online and find all that information. There's lots of good stuff. So get ready for it, everybody. Take care. Love y'all.
Thank you. Thanks, hon.
Thank you, Kathy.
Bye.
I was raised by a woman that was raised in the Depression era with polio. So my mother could feed, 10 people on one potato. You know what I mean? She was fucking amazing. So I already have that naturally built into me. That peasant menu, I know how to make it really well.
If I come out of this like my grandmother, I will be hoarding elastic bands, paper track. She got rid of nothing, but it was organized. Nice.
Yeah. It was organized chaos. All right, here's the clip from Tim Walz that I've been wanting to play. So here you go.
He told you he would end the war in Ukraine, he would bring prices down, eggs, and now telling people, when did government get to tell you how many dolls your child has? I mean, this was my whole point about this, government just big enough to fit in your bedroom, your womb, and apparently now in your toy chest. That is, it's insane. It's a command economy with him dictating. There's no free market principles. My farmers have worked years to cultivate markets in a free market around the world, and we have thrived at that. We feed the world, we clothe the world, we power the world. Donald Trump is now deciding that he gets to do all of that. And the real thing is to enrich the industries he chooses. He's picking the winners and losers. And in this case, the billionaires are winning, the rest of us are losing.
So, yes. Tim, please run 2028. We need you. You got great messaging. You put it right out there on the fucking table. Boom. Here it is. A government so small apparently can fit in your womb, your bedroom, and now apparently your toy chest. I mean, come on. That's the way you do it. Same with Jasmine. Same with, by the way, did you guys see any of this Kash Patel bullshit? Yeah. Kash Patel's fucking lying through his motherfucking teeth. And then Kristi Noem also trying to answer questions. Yeah. She can't answer. They won't. They refuse. They fucking obfuscate. You know what I mean? And
they're pulling a tactic out of MTG's playbook from when she had her hearing, and it's I do not recall. I do not recall.
But no, they're not even saying I do not recall. They're actually answering, going, "Well, I'm actually within the law," even though the person who's questioning them goes,
"Yeah, they're
you're
trying
breaking
to
the law."
pull some bullshit and then pull a fast one and talking fast and loose, but it isn't going to work because the law is the law. They're breaking the law, breaking the law.
I understand. All. Yeah, this is by law, and this chick, I think her last name's Murphy. She's just straight up, calm,
This chick Murphy sounds like a band I used to know.
She's Senator Murphy. I don't know where, or Murray, sorry. Murray, Murray. He's like a kid in 8th grade who didn't complete his homework assignment, offering up a lame BS explanation to the teacher. He couldn't even get the FBI budget done on time and has no time frame for having it done. These people are grossly incompetent, and that's from Ron Filipkowski, and I just sent you the video, Tony, so.
Roll that beautiful bead for
And
it was due last
one.
week by law.
By law. By law.
I have a timeline on that.
By law.
It was due last week.
Law and order.
I understand.
And your answer is you just understand you're not going to follow the law?
My answer is that I am following the law, and I'm working with my interagency partners to do this and get you the budget that you are required to have.
And you have no timeline?
No.
Well, we also need a full budget request, not a single paragraph full of wild talking points that we saw with the skinny budget proposal. We're now having a budget hearing without a budget request. So, Director Patel, where is the FY 2026 budget request for the FBI?
It's being worked on, ma'am.
Have you reviewed it? Have you approved it?
Not yet.
When will we get it?
As soon as I can get it from my interagency partners and get it approved.
6 months from now?
I don't know, ma'am. I'm not going to make
Well,
up a
how do
timeline.
we as Congress do our budget and our work without that request?
Ooh.
Just, I didn't get, I'm working within the law. No, you're not. If you were working within the law, you would have had your fucking budget done on fucking time. So when are we going to have it? On 6 months? I don't know. No clue.
It's called rules and law.
So here is
there's rules, and the rule is you didn't fucking have your budget, and here you are.
Yeah. Senator Patty Murray. I'm sorry, Senator Patty Murray. She's vice chair of, Patty Murray from Washington State.
Good for her.
And she goes after him now for the deporting people, kidnapping them, I should say.
They all need to fucking go after these motherfuckers. What are we waiting for?
Well, I'm sorry, but the rule of law ain't fast enough, fuckos. When Dickie's breaking a fucking law,
Yeah,
several
rapid
a
fire
day,
law breaking.
several a day. Sometimes hundreds a day. When you deport 100 people, that's 100 crimes. So yeah.
Secretary Noem, under your leadership, we have seen you ignore our appropriation laws, our Constitution, common sense, and even basic humanity. And like a lot of Americans, I really have been horrified by the lawlessness and incompetence and cruelty that we have all witnessed. And for all the talk about going after criminals, you have sidetracked DHS staff who are investigating drug dealers, terrorists, human traffickers. And rather than photo ops, we need more of your focus on providing basic diligence, because your crackdown has roped in American citizens and people who are here legally with no criminal record. Now, I'm not going to ask you whether that was right or wrong. I know it's wrong. The world knows it's wrong. And I think the first thing that history is going to say about your leadership is that you were responsible for many of these travesties. So I'm deeply concerned. You've deported a 4-year-old U.S. citizen with cancer. You've disappeared people to a notorious prison in El Salvador. And you have spent $100 million in taxpayer dollars to air TV ads thanking President Trump.
Jesus.
And Diane, that's something we talked about the other day. The fact that there's a whole production crew who is filming the El Salvador plane that landed.
It's porn. It's MAGA porn.
Yep.
Yeah. And we are paying for that. And I don't know what department that comes out of, but it's like you said, you wouldn't be surprised if Mark Burnett was producing. All of it is just made for TV garbage.
Welcome to reality TV.
That's when they're put in the spotlight, and you put them in front of Congress people that can ask them the questions they can't answer. They can't answer. Listen to this the puppy killer. The puppy killer. Do you believe you can detain and deport illegal permanent residents for expressing political opinion that the administration disagrees with? 3 times they ask her, and 3 times she obfuscates. Watch this dancing. She might as well be a ballet dancer with a fucking tutu and fucking toe shoes on, for fuck's sake.
Do you believe that you have the right to detain or deport a legal permanent resident for expressing their political opinion?
I don't make decisions on legal status here in the United States. The Department of State does that. And I would say that as they've gone through an evaluation of who gets a visa, who gets legal status, green cards, they've been evaluating and discussing how that applies.
Well, I acknowledge that you don't. I acknowledge you don't make. But if someone is a legal permanent resident of the United States, I'm not talking about an H-1B or a student visa holder. I'm talking about a legal permanent resident. If you are a legal permanent resident, do you have the right to detain or deport that person simply for expressing their political opinion?
The Department of State makes those decisions.
No,
and the
they
Department
don't.
of Homeland Security.
You make that decision about
Secretary
who
of
you have
State.
the
Which
right
one?
to detain or deport. So you are involved in that? Do you believe the United States, do you believe the law allows?
The Department of Homeland Security under the Trump administration is enforcing the law, following the constitutional rights of folks who are here as citizens, those who are here legally, and those who are here illegally.
So a legal
that
permanent
have
resident
final
is by
removal
definition
orders.
here legally. Do you believe, I mean, I think this is really troubling if you can't answer this simple question. Do you believe that the U.S. government can detain and deport a legal permanent resident for expressing a political opinion that the administration disagrees with?
The determination you're asking for is based on things that you are determining that the Secretary of State has considered and evaluated. We don't evaluate that.
Fucking enough. I can't even listen to her horse shit anymore. Just unbelievable obfuscation. Like, I don't even know. There's no other word for it. There's seriously no other word for that.
It's just a lot of words. It's none of it means any. It almost sounded a little bit like listening to him talk, because none of it means anything or makes any sense.
It's just words.
Yeah.
It's just
She kept
words.
saying Department
just a
of
word
State.
salad. It's a wilted, moldy word salad.
What's Department of State? Do you mean the Secretary of State? Because there's really no quote unquote Department of State. Like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, lady. Then she finally said Secretary of State. And oh, you're going to talk about the guy who's got 17 million fucking jobs right now? What's his name? Marco Rubio? Yeah.
Yeah. Dead Eyes Rubio.
Yeah.
Sinking into the couch.
He used to have life in his eyes, but every bit of it's gone.
Yep.
Every bit of it's gone. Yes, I noticed. I totally noticed. It's fucking creepy.
Let them dry.
He's got eyes like Stephen Miller now.
Lifeless eyes, black eyes, like
Yes.
a doll's eye.
Yes. Yes. Like that.
And how about our new Surgeon General?
Oh my God, we were talking about it before the show, and we haven't brought it up yet. Holy shit! Well, I'll let you tell the story, Spy, because you did all the homework on it. I'm like, this nut job.
I did a very, very quick 2-minute search, and one, she's spouting mitochondrial uncoupling, which the more I looked into, it's a weight loss fad.
I thought it was DNA.
She's selling, huh?
I thought it was about DNA.
Yeah, it's referring to the mitochondria, but it's a weight loss fad. Like it's a weight loss thing that they yeah. Anyway, it will take me more than 2 minutes to delve deeper into that because there's a lot of medical information.
She's a health
regarding
influencer online. She knows she has a suspended medical degree. Probably
she dropped out during residency, so she does not have an active medical degree. She's an online fitness influencer who is selling raw milkshakes or smoothies.
Yeah, and she said she wants to go up to the cow and up to the farmer, go to the farm, meet the farmer, pet the cow, and then maybe she'll decide to drink the milk.
This is our new Surgeon General. Okay, I mean that's I'm gonna buy it. It's almost as much of a headache as RFK in charge of HHS. It just where do they find these fucking people?
Well, she's
social
online
media.
And she's
They
got
find them on
G's.
social media.
Yeah.
She's gonna be
They find
hanging
them
out
on
with
social media.
RFK Jr. and she's got double G's. Just so you know, she's got maybe probably fake boobs, but they're Benny Loco size. So they're up to her fucking chin, and they're like.
I did send you a video of her speaking. I did not review it before sending it to you, but I did send you a video of her speaking.
in the chat on my channel.
In Blue Sky. Yeah, in Blue Sky.
All right.
I knew as soon as I saw this internet stuff coming down the pike that it was going to cause a lot of trouble. I intuitively knew that, and I still don't know shit about it at all. But I intuitively knew that it could go really badly pear-shaped, and it has.
And a lot of that because people are intellectually lazy. We literally have supercomputers in the palms of our hands where we can find out anything.
More technology than the space the capsule that landed on the moon.
Yeah. And they don't
In your
bother
hand.
to do a real quick search when they hear this bullshit.
Yeah.
I just
reposted it so Tony can go and I didn't repost it to you. I just reposted it. Fuck, I have to do it again now. And go
I was
at.
going to say, this is a book, and you can open
Technology.
it, and it goes all the way through, and it takes time.
Oh my God.
There's that option too. Yeah.
So Jim Stewartson posted, to celebrate the stars of the Trump regime, I did a mashup of our Director of National Intelligence accompanying our new 37-year-old Surgeon General, who is not qualified to touch patients, urging people to do something called mitochondrial uncoupling. We are all going to die from stupid poisoning.
Yeah.
Nah. See, I'm not going to die from stupid poisoning because I didn't take the ivermectin.
Talked about mitochondrial uncoupling. And this is like the takeaway.
This is real.
Is like you don't actually want to go on a keto diet. You want to go on a mitochondrial uncoupling diet, and that's what you're doing with the keto diet. But people aren't even realizing it. And this is where the magic is that there's all.
It's fucking what's her name?
Bizarre. Oh my God, she's not crazy.
If the end goal is really mitochondrial uncoupling,
They're both
there's
crazy.
like 10 other things you can do to mitochondrial uncouple, and guess what? They don't involve just
Ladies and gentlemen, MAGA women.
carb intake, and you can actually bring in all these other nutrients.
I think I've seen her in.
What's that, Sage?
I think I've seen her in a Project 2025 video. One of those videos they put out, like Carolyn Levitt did one. I could be wrong, but she looks real familiar. I've never seen her.
Oh my God.
Her face rings a bell.
Yeah.
Just an embarrassment. Just a total fucking shit show embarrassment. I don't even know.
Yeah, Michael. She does. She has crazy eyes. She's got crazy eyes.
No, yeah, she does.
And
Note to self. You can only ring a bell with your face once. Bong.
She's got Betty Davis eyes. She's got crazy she's got crazy MAGA eyes.
She's in there. No, she isn't.
Yeah. Sexy eyes. You know, I want crazy eyes. Oh my God. I have all these songs running through my head right now that all have something to do with eyes. Like eyes without a face. Got no human race. Your eyes without a face.
Oh.
How about Wang
Diane.
Yi on guitar, ladies and gentlemen?
What?
Give it up.
See, they
Wang Yi.
got a look about them, don't they?
Give it up.
As Steve in the chat said, another of the MAGA ladies from Hades.
And she's the new what?
She's the new Surgeon General.
Surgeon General.
So that's the warning they have on cigarette labels. The Surgeon General was the one who did that, right? And
Yeah.
She's the new Surgeon General.
Eyes without a brain.
Oh shit.
You know that you're insane.
I mean,
Your
this
eyes
mess
without a
gets
brain.
bigger to clean up every motherfucking day. Every motherfucking day, this mess gets bigger to clean up. We are going to have so much work on our hands.
God.
Be a lot.
And you gotta have, in order to be, to go into service, and I mean not just military service, but in service of your country, to, like, some of these good people like Jasmine, right? Let's just take her for an example. She's there to service the people, her constituents. All these other assholes are like, I'm there to line my pocket. And it's been that way for decades. Look at fucking Mitch McConnell and Chuck Grassley. They've never had another job. This has been their only thing.
That's it.
Whereas Jasmine Crockett was an attorney before this.
Yeah.
Carter was a peanut farmer. They
And a nuclear physicist.
and a nuclear physicist.
Yeah.
There was that part.
And in the Navy.
In the Navy, I mean, there's just so many, and I don't know how Republicans get so duped every fucking time.
Again, this is
and
the top.
and I'm sorry, and he helped build houses for disadvantaged families
Habitat for Humanity.
for years after he retired.
This new Surgeon General did not complete her residency to become a legitimate doctor. So therefore, she does not have a medical license. This is why she cannot treat patients.
Touch patients. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. So she couldn't make it through medical school, but we're going to make her the Surgeon General.
Woo, 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 woo. Why not?
Gotcha.
And let her grift off of the American people by selling raw milk smoothies.
Don't we have that whistle that goes, that silly whistle? Yeah, woohoo, yeah, all right. Like, whoa. Yeah, we've got dude with brain worms as the Health and Human Services, and the Surgeon General chick, wants to monochronominally fucking uncouple, which I don't even fucking know what that means. I literally do not know what it means. And I know I'm saying it wrong, and I don't give two shits.
It's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful.
Wasn't Bobert a penis farmer? Oh, Josh, yes, you're right. You are correct. Ding, 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 ding.
Who?
Yes,
Who?
Bobert.
Yes.
Bobert is a penis farmer.
Yeah.
Which Bobert's Christian
Good Christian woman.
Yeah, the 3 sign. Yeah, she didn't even know how to cross herself correctly. I even know that shit, and I'm a fucking atheist.
All those family values.
The penis farmer brings me to a really, really funny story that Sage told me yesterday. Can I bring it up?
Bring it up.
Okay, so I'm like, I'm sorry, Sage. Like, you're. She was telling me about some guys she's dated in the past. And one of them, I don't know. I got the story confused. And it was really funny. She corrected me later. But this is what I said to her. I'm like, you have the gay, suicidal ex-cop. And you also dated an traveling ostrich farmer. I'm like, a traveling ostrich farmer set me off so hard, I almost peed my pants laughing. And I'm like, wait a minute. The traveling ostrich farmer, you actually consider dating? Like, the ostrich farmer. With ostriches in New Hampshire, which I'm sure they don't really like the fucking climate up there.
In the snow.
How about you?
I make better choices.
Traveling ostrich farmer. What the fuck is that? Please explain this position of employment for me.
He and his wife were separated. They were getting a divorce, and he had ostriches. So he decided to give her space in their gorgeous friggin' house and take off down south. and being part of, I guess, an ostrich community online with other people who have ostriches. He went down south to help them with their ostriches. So he was a traveling ostrich farmer. Don't judge me now. So don't judge me.
It's the funniest fucking occupation I've heard.
Yeah, I never heard of that job before. I'm just saying. Sounds fun.
I don't know, you know. I mean, like, I know
Ostriches
that he
are
likes me, but,
cool.
like, you know, I don't know.
Even though I could totally kick your ass and wipe you off the planet with one swap. Swap, that leg comes up.
He was very well off because he worked in the tech field. He worked in security and stuff, but he had his ostrich, so there was more to him than that.
Okay, but just the traveling ostrich farmer sent me to Mars. It just sent me off the fucking planet, and I just couldn't stop laughing. And I'm like, I really need a reason to name our next show Traveling Ostrich Farmer. I should have. Because I had no idea we were going to bring it up, but somebody said Bobo's a penis farmer, and it just brought the whole thing back up.
That's where it came from. I was wondering what sparked that thought in your head.
A traveling
Now I
ostrich
know.
consultant. Online ostrich community. It's just a tall chicken.
You know, like he's got the bod, but his brains are bad news.
Just a tall chicken, Robert.
Has anybody ever eaten an ostrich egg?
No. Have
They're
you ever?
Tough. Like duck eggs. They're tough. Yeah.
You have to hack into it with like a. Why do I know this? I have to hack into it like a hammer, and it's like a whole thing. It's like feeds a family of 12.
Mm-hmm. It's a big old egg.
And the meat is like filet mignon. It's red and it's delicious.
Holy shit
Never
says,
had
do
it.
traveling emu farmers count? I've eaten ostrich meat. Oh, God, shit.
I don't understand.
It kind of reminded me of like a skit from probably like Sex and the City where they were sitting around comparing the worst dudes that they dated. You know, like the guy that broke up with me on a Post-it. You know, like that guy. And and just sitting there and I'm like, wow, that one, you win, Sage. You absolutely win, hands down. Dating the guys with the weirdest occupations possible. I've never heard that one.
You totally stymied me. I never heard of it. Ever. That's why I asked. I had to know. Inquiring minds need to know.
Oh, God. It was so funny. It was funny yesterday. It's still funny now.
Good thing they still allow funny.
Yeah. So,
motherfuckers.
Trying to get back on track here. We got 15 minutes left. I came across these two quotes from Carl Sagan. And do you guys know who he is?
Yes.
Okay. So, one is from an old clip from, I forget the show, whatever it is. I'll send them both over. And I was like, this guy's got this shit pegged down back then. And I was like, how come nobody ever listened to this motherfucker? And then we got this young chick in her car, and she's like, oh, and this is like almost right. It was crazy that they were both in my feed, you know, separated a little bit, but I was like, wow. So whatever this guy was saying then, it's it's relevant now. And I don't know. You'll see what I mean. If you guys don't know who he is.
Yes, from Cosmos. Carl Sagan did Cosmos before Neil deGrasse Tyson redid it.
Right.
There's two kinds of dangers. One is what I just talked about, that we've arranged a society based on science and technology in which nobody understands anything about science and technology. And this combustible mixture of ignorance and power, sooner or later, is going to blow up in our faces. I mean, who is running the science and technology in a democracy if the people don't know anything about it? And the second reason that I'm worried about this is that science is more than a body of knowledge. It's a way of thinking, a way of skeptically interrogating the universe with a fine understanding of human fallibility. If we are not able to ask skeptical questions, to interrogate those who tell us that something is true, to be skeptical of those in authority, then we're up for grabs for the next charlatan, political or religious, who comes ambling along. It's a thing that Jefferson lay great stress on. It wasn't enough, he said, to enshrine some rights in a constitution or a Bill of Rights. The people had to be educated, and they had to practice their skepticism and their education. Otherwise, we don't run the government. The government runs us.
The government runs us, and that's what's fucking happening right now. And then this chick in her car, she's like, I keep referring to this quote by him all the time, and it's really kind of epic for what's happening right now.
The scariest but also most brilliant and accurate prediction about America that I've ever heard was written in 1995 by a man named Carl Sagan in his book, The Demon Haunted World. It's a passage that I've reflected on time and time again as sort of a lighthouse when trying to make decisions or thinking about who I do or don't want to become. And it goes like this. I have a foreboding of an America in my children's or grandchildren's time when the United States is a service and information economy, when nearly all the key manufacturing industries have slipped away to other countries, when awesome technological powers are in the hands of a very few, and no one representing the public interest can even grasp the issues. When the people have lost the ability to set their own agendas or knowledgeably question those in authority, when, clutching our crystals and nervously consulting our horoscopes, our critical faculties in decline, unable to distinguish between what feels good and what's true, we slide, almost without noticing, back into superstition and darkness. The dumbing down of America is most evident in the slow decay of substantive content in the enormously influential media, the 30-second sound bites, now down to 10 seconds or less, lowest common denominator programming, credulous presentations on pseudoscience and superstition, but especially a kind of celebration of ignorance. Oh my God! We have got to get our shit together.
I like that. It's just a drop, Tony. Oh my God, we've got to get our shit together. But it's all true. Both those quotes were absolutely 110% true. This guy saw it. We've had people that have been pointing this shit out for a long time. That somebody could come along and just bulldoze through everything. Because none of these things became law. Roe would never became a law. You know, it was law of the land, but only by the Supreme Court. Let's make it a law throughout the fucking country, in every state. Now they can just fuck with it. And then they fucked with it, and now it's too fucking late. Now women are fucking dying. We've got the dark money game that we watched, where they literally financed, all these religious freaks financed goddamn SCOTUS to take Roe away.
Yeah.
When, you know, his meme coin, he's raking in. They just went public with it, I believe, just recently. But that means that, you know, any corporation, any country can buy into this meme coin and give him money directly. And on top of that, he's giving away dinners with himself for like a certain number of people. And then the top donors, he's giving them a tour of the White House and a meeting in the Oval Office. So I mean, it's all in plain sight now.
It's total fucking grift. It's absolutely fucking crime. Can you imagine if Biden or Obama or Bill Clinton ever tried to do any of this shit? Can you imagine the flip out on the right? And they're like totally like it's normal.
You know, they accused Hunter of selling access to his father.
Yeah.
And all of that time and money and the bullcrap investigation that wasn't an investigation. It was just a pre-planned, you know, show someone's
Smear
guilty.
campaign.
All it was. Yeah. Yeah.
Selling the White House. Selling access to the White House, selling access to Trump. Now we've got, I forget who it was, but I heard it earlier today that some companies like now buying up, I think it's some trucking company. Some trucking company is buying up all his fucking Bitcoin to get him to stop the tariffs.
Yeah.
Well, honey, you're just one trucking company, and that's not going to start the ships coming back over from China, because you know how long that shit takes?
Fuck you!
Yes.
So I'd love to research this or look into this, but Soulcraft in the chat said breaking, Janine Pirro is acting DCDA while the Nazi lover is getting confirmed or not.
Box of wine.
That woman.
Box of wine, Janine Pirro.
Fuck you!
Please.
Oh my God.
He's dragging in all the corpses that loved him when he was the apprentice.
This is
These were all the people that he hung out with in Hollywood when he was the apprentice. This is as close to rubbing elbows with Hollywood as he ever got. Is like Jean Pirro or whatever the fuck her name is.
And Janine Pirro was involved in that murderer guy. Who was that guy? Tony, remember we watched the documentary?
Didn't he pardon her husband for something?
Yes, he did. Remember that murderer guy? He murdered his wife, and then he murdered his second wife, and it was a big to-do, and he was a really rich guy, and he was really old, and Janine Pirro was like going against him, and Tony and I watched the documentary, and now I can't remember but it was like fucking weaselly fucking little twerp, and he got away with all of it because he was a billionaire. Yeah, we've got federal judge J. Michael Ludgate. I can't say his name. Ludig, thank you. He's retired. The President of the United States is at war with the Constitution and the rule of law. When you hear him say that, you know we're at fucking deep shit, because it's true. We all see it, but I like hearing it from right-wing sources. Even though, you know, they won't listen. MAGA won't listen.
The right wing need to get off their fucking ass and do their fucking job.
Yeah. When Diane, just to bring up, you were having this conversation with is it Doug on Sons of Liberty? For some reason, I'm blanking on his name all of a sudden. But he on Tuesday after our show, you did their show, and one of the things he pointed out, and it really struck a chord for me. Either we as a country stand up and say, no, this is not going to happen, or we wait for the rest of the world to start bombing us, much like what had to be done with Germany during World War II. That is the situation we are in right now. And the Republicans who are just sitting back and letting this stuff happen, they are complicit in all of this, just to line their pockets and get more power.
The jinx.
So we got to stand up. We have to, just like Benny keeps saying, we have to stand up and say, no, this is not who we are. We will not become Nazi Germany.
And Sage brought up a great point. And when I talked to her yesterday, there was a kind of a disturbing silence when I asked the question, do you think the military will go along with unconstitutional order, like shooting protesters in the street or whatever? I can't remember what my example, but they were quiet. And there's 3 veterans on that. They were quiet. They didn't know how to answer. And it was kind of disturbing to me a little bit. What was that? Okay. It was kind of disturbing to me a little bit because I figured, oh, hell no. But see, they were also in it when there was a lot of maggots. And now they're retired. Now they're out of it. So maybe they don't see, after being called suckers and losers, the people who are in the military right now, how are they feeling? And I know that Fox News is, on every fucking military base and, whatever. So I just feel like, what's the jinx, Tony? Oh, that's what the thing was called. Yeah. The documentary was called The Jinx. So, I mean, Sage, you can go into this, please, because you kind of brought it up, and I'm like, yeah, you're right.
I connected with you because I said I kind of wanted to review that because it left everything hanging out there without any kind of a tie-in to any sort of a positive sort of pushback. And I mean, they not only stopped talking, but they put their heads down. It was almost like they're like, don't ask me to say anything. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news or whatever. And I mean, I understand that this is all new to everyone. This is new to everyone in the military to be in a position where they have a leader, they have a commander who they know is, or maybe they don't know. Some know. Some of these people who've gone into the military don't watch Fox. There's got to be some semblance of stand up for what you took the oath for, but they're seeing all their higher ups getting bumped out and people having to swear an oath of allegiance to Trump only. And then what does that do to them? That I was hoping to get some sort of a positive response, but I mean, part of me wonders if they just didn't do anything. They didn't want anybody to be upset or too hopeful. But I still have to believe that at some point, if things go south, I mean, if we actually try to physically invade Greenland, or, I mean, nobody's going to see that. That's how come this is an act of war? All we want to do is take their land and their resources.
We're invading a NATO country, and Greenland's owned by Denmark. Denmark's in NATO, and so I don't know how you can do this without becoming an absolute dictatorship of America, and that means it's no longer the United States. It's a dictatorship America, or America the dictatorship of Dinky. I don't know. I don't know what it is. After that, what happens after that? What happens when Dinky shoots protesters in the street? What happens then? We got really fucking close last time. A lot of people got really, severely injured. A lot of people.
Well, we heard Kristi Noem not say no. I mean, when Dan Goldman was asking her about actions on U.S. citizens. And her response should have been, no, we won't do those things to them. It's it depends basically on if the FBI says.
Or the state, the Department of State, which isn't a thing, but and she lied and said, well, we have not deported any U.S. citizens. Bullshit. We know a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and we know they're U.S. citizens, and you're just lolly now, like, woohoo, deporting all these people. No clue who they are.
So part of me just, after we spoke, I felt better because I thought, you know what? Even if they themselves as post-military, they're vets, they're home, they're working regular jobs, maybe they don't want to look like Jan Sixers, you know, and maybe they are hoping, you know, there's a lot of us hoping for this person or that group or this group to do what needs to be done. Meanwhile, we know it's going to take all of us doing all of our things. And I mean, just because they're not aware of something, just because they don't have any knowledge of anything, doesn't mean things aren't a possibility. But yeah, I just really wanted to talk to make sure that you had a chance to speak with your viewers here and, you know, explain to them that, yeah, we all kind of felt that big, empty, gaping hole of what the heck, why aren't you saying something? This is not a place to just go silent. So they are not the beginning and ending of all knowledge based on what could be going on behind the scenes. None of us are. So
true.
Don't give up. Don't give up that hope. There's got to be a group somewhere that's looking at this, just waiting for a particular thing, a line to be crossed.
Right. Sage, do you want a closing statement? Because we're about to head out. Anybody want to go?
Stay positive, stay hopeful, stick with, you know, what you know, and try to do some other things during the day. Go out in the garden, go for a walk, pet your cat, live your life.
Yeah. Who's next?
My closing statement is the cat video. Cats got to go outside, so kittens got to go outside.
Okay.
That's my closing statement.
Benny, what do you got?
I'm exhausted. It's been a long day and I'm exhausted and it isn't over yet. So power on. Yeah. Power on, my friends. Power on.
Paula, I'm not exactly when Malcolm Nance is going to Greenland. I heard he's probably already there now. So just so you know.
Way,
yeah. And I just wanted to read this before we go. And then Tony will play the video and then we'll head out. And I just want to thank all the moderators and thank everybody for being here and in the gifted memberships and everything. Thank you so much for all your love, support, and your eyeballs here. 21st Century Suffragettes.
Before you read that, so no Sunday show, correct?
No Sunday show. I might play Saturday, but don't keep your hopes up, you animals. So anyway, I keep hearing people ask, is America ready for a woman president or a gay president? Funny thing is, I never heard anyone ask if America was ready for an incompetent, vindictive, mentally unstable, misogynistic, homophobic, racist, traitorous, egomaniac, and yet, here we are. So thank you again to everybody, and we'll watch the kitties as we roll out. Peace out, and we will see you maybe Saturday night on Diane Russell Live. If not, we will all see you next Tuesday.
That's right, next Tuesday.
Oh my God. Oh my God, they're so cute.
There they are. I could hear them. Could hear them before I saw them.
What is this? Looking around. God. Whoa, big noises. Is it trilling from the mama?
Yes. Yes, she's trying to get them to come back towards the house. And the boys went, but the girls didn't.
Oh my god. Oh my god. How fucking cute are they? The trilling, she's just like, it's okay, don't worry, let's go back to the house. Come on.
Yeah. But yeah, the boys followed her, and the girls said, "No, I'm gonna stay over here with this human."
That's so cute. All right, we love you guys so much. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Peace out. Don't leave. Don't leave. I'll be right back.
Let me break into the waves and let me shake into the white and contemplating over a jug of wine. The end of the world, the end of time. Planets aligning, I feel fine. I can't take all the violence and the pain. With six-string by candlelight, just leave her alone. Just leave Benny Loco alone. Just leave her alone.
Look how shiny it is, Grammy. It's so shiny. It's so shiny.